Hi, we're going to talk about the S&P 500 group. Now, I've been doing this for years, and the technology over the years have improved so much, it's incredible, that I would never trust a specialist in market maker. And that's the problem. You have a specialist market maker, and then you have the brokerage house. And the brokerage house is always going to take care of the institution, make sure that institution never loses money, and they always use the retail customer to pawn off the stocks on to make sure that institution doesn't lose money. The institution, like the Teachers Association pension fund or the fire pension fund, they will never lose because, again, if I'm Tiffany, I want these pension funds in my stock. I don't want Joe Schmuck buying 10 shares or Dobie Doolittle buying 500 shares. I want the teachers' pension fund buying 2 million shares. So the objective of companies is to get as many institutional buyers of that stock. And who gets those institutional buyers? The brokerage firms like J.P. Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, Bank of America. They go to the teachers of Florida pension funds and say, can I represent you? And I'll make sure that you're always going to make money. And once that they land that account, Goldman Sachs, the Teachers Association pension of Florida, they will tell them, we're going to put you in Tiffany's. We're going to have you buy a lot of shares of Tiffany. Now, Tiffany's delighted because Tiffany, remember, that's what they want to hear, that they got a big institution. If they could get 5 of them, they love it. But the relationship is, hey, the pension fund says, I don't want to ever lose money. The guy who's running the teacher's fund, you make sure I never lose money. And that's what the job is between the Goldman Sachs, the guys in charge of that account, the teacher's pension fund, and then you got, of course, the specialist who makes a market in Tiffany's. So those two guys work together. And anytime there's bad news, guess what? The teacher fund gets the information before you do, the retail customer. And they always get the pension out first, and you, instead of getting out, they get you in. Because they get the pension out, let's say the pension has 500,000 shares of Tiffany's, and they know they're going to have a bad quarter. Well, they got to get that money out of Tiffany's for the pension fund. So who do they sell it to? The retail customer. So Goldman Sachs starts creating all these fake and phony write-ups and blah, blah, blah. So how are you, for heaven's sakes, ever going to make money if you're an individual stock buyer? You don't know what to look for. So the best thing for you and you don't have the time to learn, okay, is just buy the spiders, the 500 best companies. Now, when you buy the 500 best companies, you're going to follow me and my pension fund, my own pension fund. So you don't have to do anything. You don't have to follow a chart. You don't do nothing. All you're going to do is I stay in touch with you and tell you when I'm going to buy more for my pension fund and when I'm going to buy less, when I'm going to take profits, or if I sense a market that's crashing, and this is why you're so fearful, you never want to get back in the stock market. It's incredible how fearful people are. I do what they call an inverse for myself, so I will never lose money if the stock market crashes. So if I have a lot of money in my pension fund, and it's the spiders, right? So all I do is buy the spiders for my pension. I'm going to make sure that I'm not going to lose money. And this is the chart I use right here. The minute this chart here gives me all the information I want. The minute this starts turning green, like this, when it starts turning green, that's my indicator, okay, that the institutions that are getting out, they're going to make the stock market start crashing. I will see an indicator right here telling me that's going to happen. And then when I get a couple of these days like this, and then finally I get a confirmation like this, then that confirmation with 2 days here tells me there's a high probability that the stock market is going to start correcting. I will be making money because what I'll start doing is buying the pro shares here. I'll start buying these shares. So as the stock market is going down like this, the market starts going down like this, right? This does the inverse. It starts going up, see? And the stronger this gets, so all you got to know is that's what I'm doing for you in that 500 group, using this chart. So you never have to worry, oh my God, what if the market collapsed? What am I going to do? You're going to do the same thing I'm doing. I will instruct you to buy, we'll switch, and we'll start buying the pro shares, SH. And so when the stock market goes down, these do the inverse, start going up, and we'll buy these. That way you can sleep at night, and you know I'm on top of it, and because I certainly am not going to lose my pension fund. And if I'm not going to lose, you're not going to lose. I'm not going to get caught in a correction, and you're not either. So it's that easy, okay? So join the 500 group. Let me do the driving, and all you have to do is just look for my notices and updates, and that's it. You go to Phil's Grande. It takes you 2 minutes a day. You don't have to do a thing, okay? But I wanted to show you the mechanism that I use so when the stock market does start collapsing, why we're making money, because this is what I'm using to make it with. How simple is that? So go ahead. It's $49.95 a month. And by the way, you have all our services, okay? And you don't have to buy a chart or anything. So again, if you ever want to buy the PT2 chart, you can. You can buy the PT2 chart if you want, okay? Or you can buy the you can buy the PT1 chart if you're going to trade. Remember, this chart is for people who are going to trade. Let's say, for example, you want to trade my mining stocks we bought this week, AUY. So if you want to trade 2 days, if you want to take a time frame of 2 days to 2 weeks, like right here, like we did with Starbucks. Remember we did Starbucks like this? I said you could follow me on individual stocks, Starbucks. And remember we ran this right. Let me get rid of this. And if you recall, when I bought Starbucks, and as soon as it got up here, we got about a little more than 4%. I said we're going to take our profits, and we did. So you'd made 4% return on your money. Same thing we're doing now with our gold, AUY. See, so now we're making money. We're going to try to make 5% on this on an individual stock. So if you want to learn how to do individual stocks, or you want a time frame of a couple of months or more, then you use this chart. And then the best thing, though, if you don't want to get involved with anything, is just follow me in my 500 group. And as I say, you never have to worry, because when the market starts to crash, I'll be over here protecting us, and we'll start buying this inverse. How nice is that? See you on the charts.